Good morning. How you guys doing? I'm settling in. So get the day started. Started a little later today than usual because, well, if you've been here earlier this week, you found out my wife took a nasty fall and fractured her toe. So we had to go see the orthopedic doctor this morning. But yeah, good news. She doesn't have to have surgery, at least at this point, and hopefully she'll be able to heal up without much difficulty. So W, huge W. um, Does anybody else like obsessively organize their email? Like I am so I guess you would call it. I don't know if you'd call it obsessive, but maybe like particular. But I have a very particular way that I like my email to be organized. Um, and I think it's the superior way. Like I think most people struggle with email because they don't have a system. And yeah, that's if you need an email system, I can give you one. If you need a system for organizing your email, I'll be happy to talk you through it. Um, but like people always say like, oh, I need to reach inbox zero. Like honestly too, like I should say like I don't receive a. The reason people feel overwhelmed by their inbox is just because they're not putting effort into organizing their shit. You know, organize your shit, people. Okay, so what am I gonna do? I'm actually just setting up shop. If you just got here, I'm like just getting settled into work today because my wife had a doctor's appointment this morning that I had to take her to, and it went well. She broke her toe, so we had to go see the orthopedic. But it went well, so I'm just settling in. I'm gonna stream for about an hour. So if you're here and want to hang out with me while I kind of get myself sorted and locked in for the day, that would be lovely. Let's see. Yeah. How are y'all doing today? Is there anybody in the chat? I haven't looked. Also, I should probably make sure that my chat's actually working today. Because that happened to me the other day. Let's see. Let's see. Is the chat working today? Um, the internet gremlins have been active this week because you saw Slack went down this week, which I feel bad for. I bet their engineers were working overtime. Let's see. Yeah, looks like the chat's working. So if you guys feel like if I'm not getting your messages, let me know. But I think it's working. Oh, Eric Toad Sage. Actually, no, it's not working. I see Toad Sage on YouTube, so I don't know. Restream has failed me once again. Toad Sage says not with email, but I have OCD with my setup. Yeah, I mean, I just think you need systems, right, Toad Sage? Like you need to have an approach to organizing your work. Is there something wrong with the chat? Nah, I think it's working now. I don't think it's working in Restream again, but it's definitely working on YouTube. I just pulled up the YouTube. version of the chat. I feel like I should just drop Restream because I don't really get any interaction on TikTok. And it's causing issues with chat. But I can see your chat now. Hey, cool dude, how are you doing? Hello, Mr. Developer. Cool dude always calls me Mr. Developer. Which I appreciate, but I also don't want there to be actual developers that this guy's not a developer, he's a quality engineer. I mean, I'm a developer in the sense that I build my own shit, right? I can build my own stuff, but I have never been paid to be a developer. Yeah, tell me, what do you use for your system and email? Okay, so I don't care what the email client is, right? ToadStage. I don't care if it's Gmail. I've done it in Gmail, Outlook, Apple Mail. I don't really care what the client is, right? I prefer using Gmail. I guess my preference, but at jobs you don't always get to pick, obviously. But so you need a system that you can take to any client, okay? And so the system I use is basically all it is based around is, I think that most people in their head, and particularly in my head, you think about communication with people in terms of conversations with others, right? You remember, oh, I talked to so-and-so about that thing, or oh, so-and-so sent me that thing. So my recommendation, and the way I do it, is I have a filter for every unique sender that I get. I create a filter, and I tag that filter by name, and so all my mail gets sorted to separate inboxes for each sender, right? So it's basically like recreating sort of almost like a chat-like experience, right? Where you have a unique filter for each sender. And so that way, and everything skips the inbox. I don't let anything sit in the inbox. And then the other thing I also do is I differentiate senders that are internal versus external, particularly for in a business environment. So I want a color that distinguishes that, hey, I want a color that clearly distinguishes this is an external email, and I want it to be tagged with the sender's name. So I can basically, in Gmail, they have the all mail pane, and so in that all mail pane, I can see every single message. I can quickly and clearly see by color if it's internal, if it's external. I also have some different coloring for Slack notifications or particular standard types of emails I receive as part of my work. And so at a glance, I can look at the all mail page and I can just kind of see what the fuck is going on. And then the way my brain works is then it's very easy for me to find the thing I'm thinking about because I've associated that thing with the conversation I've had with the person. So I can go right to that person's tag, or I can search for that person's tag, and I almost always find what I'm looking for. It's very rudimentary, it's not super sophisticated, but I'm a big believer in it. It's served me well the last 10 years. Azim Khan. Hi, Steven. Can I please ask you a question? Sure, Azim. Shoot away, man. Happy to answer anything you got. Hopefully it's something I can answer. I would love to try the Steve's tag method. Yeah, I would show you my setup, obviously, but it's I don't know. I don't want to dox a bunch of work stuff. So, but you can just imagine kind of at a high level, right? It's if you're looking at Gmail, you have that labels view, and basically that labels view has a label for external, a label for internal, and then all the internal people get nested under the external, or under the internal label, and then they all have a share color. So everything is organized in that way. And then from there, it's all just organized by sender. And you may say, well, Steven, you could have a lot of senders. And yeah, I do, especially for external people. When I worked in support, I have a ton of external labels. But that's just the easiest way for me to organize myself, I found. But I just think everyone should have a system. I don't think your system should be let all the messages sit in my inbox and overwhelm me. Yeah, I get that, man. Yeah, I appreciate that, Toad. Thanks for asking, man. Let's see. Azim Khan. Azim, do you have a question, man? I think you had a question. I shall await your question, Azim. It's same like my Obsidian setup. Nice. Yeah, exactly. Hey Toast, do you use this Obsidian? I use Obsidian. I found Obsidian a year ago, a year and a half ago. You may have been using it a lot longer than I have, but I love that product. It's wonderful. Azim says, I'm a final year engineering undergrad. I was interested in software engineering, but I ended up joining a startup where I do data engineering and analytics. Well, congratulations, Azim. That's awesome, man. That's fantastic. Beggar, on a scale to 1 to 10, she was a 9, and I'm the one she needs. Nice, Beggar. I feel like that was Beggar. I feel like that was something you had stored in your notes app, and you've just been waiting for like the right time to copy and paste that into somebody's stream. You know, like you either thought that up or you read that somewhere, and you're like, man, I can't wait to say this to somebody. It's kind of like, have you guys ever seen the clip of Tony Hawk? If you guys know who Tony Hawk, he's a professional skateboarder, but he'll get in a, like there's a video of him running around in a car and yelling at people and being like, do a kickflip, and he in one of the clips he rolls by a kid on a scooter and he's like, hey, do a bar spin, and that kid just like boom bangs it out, and Tony Hawk says, I feel like that kid was waiting his whole life for that moment, you know? That's how I feel right now about Beggar. Like, he was waiting that whole life. He's been waiting for a long time to use that line. Okay, Azim says, I'm currently working... I want to switch to the software engineering domain. Beggar says, wow, exactly, this guy's a mind reader. Azim, hold on, sorry, Azim. I'm reading your message here. I'm currently working as an intern here. I want to switch to software engineering domain, but when I return back from the office, I really get tired. Now I think I'm stuck in a wrong place. So hold on. So you're already, though, you're an engineering undergrad, so you're getting a degree in engineering, right? But you're working in data engineering and analytics. So Azim, are you saying that you feel like when you get back from doing your job, you don't have time to work on your engineering skills in your off time? Is that what you're concerned about? That's why you feel stuck? Because you're like, how am I supposed to go work in an engineering role if I can't develop those skills? Because I'm so burnt out from doing the day job. Let's see. Adik Hack, what is the difference between arrays and objects in JS in simple terms? Let's see. A deal, like if I had to explain it to my kiddos, like I'll use those simple terms. I would just say an array is like a bag of things, right? In JavaScript particularly, an array is a bag of things, and you can put stuff in an array. And objects are typically the things that you would put in that bag. So you might have an object that represents a book, or an object that represents something simple like a word, and you can stick that in your bag, which is your array. And then once you have things in your bag or in your array, you can do things with them. That's probably what I would say if I was trying to explain that to my third grader. The Rotten Apple. What's up, man? You remember me? I don't, The Rotten Apple. First time I think I've seen you in the chat, or remember seeing you in the chat. Yeah, we got something common, man. Even the community plugin named as NeoVim is a goated. I haven't tried that. I didn't know there was a NeoVim plugin for Obsidian. Thank you, Toadstage. That's another fantastic recommendation. I'll have to check that out. I do find myself, it's funny, since I started using NeoVim, I do find myself, like if I'm in Microsoft Office, or even if I'm in like just an Excel file, really anything now, I find myself trying to do Vim motions, and I'm like, why is J typing J? So, like I actually was working in VS Code the other day, and I was like, God, I've completely ruined myself from using VS Code because I was wanting to do all these navigations with, like I'm in normal mode, and I kept just typing over my code. So I'm going to have to set up VS Code to be more NeoVim-ish in terms of movement. So that's a project I need to do at some point. The Rotten Apple Beggar, I wasn't talking to you. Yeah, I answered your question, Rotten Apple. I don't remember. But thanks for coming back. If you were here before, I do apologize. Professor Oak, how many months have 28 days? It's just February, right? It's just 1 month. But I guess not every February has 28 days, right? There are some Februaries that have more than. So Azim, yes, like I get burned out most days of the week. Should I consider leaving the internship and then prepare for software engineering interviews? Azim, my recommendation is to not quit the job you have until you have your next job. My mom gave me that advice. My mom and dad gave me that advice when I was beginning my first job when I was about 15. And that has been the rule I followed. I'm currently 31 now, and that's the way I've approached every job change. Is I do not quit my existing job until I have the next job. So I would not recommend that. I know not everyone does that, but that would not be my recommendation. My recommendation, Azim, would be to, if you can somehow make it happen, Azim, I would try to move whatever preparation you feel like you need to be doing for software engineering interviews. I would try to move that ahead of your day job, right? So if your day job starts at 8 and you want to do some software engineering preparation or whatever that you feel like you need to do in order to prepare yourself for interviews like that, I would wake up early and I would do it first thing in the morning, right? Do the most important thing first, right? When you have the most energy, so you're not feeling burnt out. That would be my recommendation. My other recommendation, or my other idea I have for you, Azim, is is there a way you can talk to the place you're at now? Can you express an interest in software engineering? Can you say something like, can you go to somebody and say, hey, I've really enjoyed this opportunity I have here, but I'm finding that I'm actually super interested in software engineering. Do you see a way that I might be able to grow into that position here? Or do you see opportunities for me to work on projects that might allow me to grow into that role? That might be another way to come at the same problem of, I'm working on stuff I don't think I want to do, but I want to move to something that I do want to do. But yeah, I'm having a hard time finding that energy. So is there some way I can do some of that preparation or skill development as part of my job here, as part of my existing role, right? So it's like a good value exchange. You get something out of it as well as your job gets something out of it. Because I find most shops have lots of little nitpicky projects, like, it'd be really nice if we had this tool, or it'd be really nice if we could do this thing, or maybe there's some department that needs a particular little piece of application or solution or something that you could pitch in and help with. So yeah, that would be my thoughts, Azim. I know that's not probably universal, but that'd be my idea. So let's see, hold on. Professor Oak says, common man, really all months have 28 days. You're right. You're right, Professor Oak. Good one. Toad Sage caught it and I did not. Let's see. Stephen Freeborn, the plugin opens the buffer alongside the Obsidian. So it's like editing in NVim and looking at the Obsidian. Okay, cool. I'll definitely check that out, man. I will definitely give that a try. The Rotten Apple. It's hard for me to find a job. I've been fired from like every single job I've ever worked at in my life. I'm 28 years old, and ever since I was 16, I've had over like 1,000 jobs. I always get bullied at these jobs. It's worse than being in high school. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that you've had a really bad working experience, the Rotten Apple. I will say, if you've had that many jobs in 8 years, no, what is that? 16 years, 12 years, sorry. I promise I can do math. 12 years. I would say that you need to probably start doing, like, I can't imagine that in 1,000 jobs there's been that many bad people. Maybe there have, but that to me seems statistically unlikely. And so my advice to you is maybe you're either looking for jobs in the wrong place or the wrong sector, or maybe there's some introspection about the way you show up in those jobs. I'm not trying to make you the problem here. I'm just saying, is there some work that needs to be done on yourself? Maybe to make yourself more compatible with the professional work environment. That's a lot of jobs. I mean, 1,000. I've worked less than 10 jobs in my life, and I'm 31, and I started working at 15. So I don't know, something strange there, the Rotten Apple. But I'm sorry you've had shitty experiences like that. Let's see. The Rotten Apple. Then when I stick up for myself, I'm always the bad guy. They fire me instead of the person that starts it. Is so horrible. Yeah, I don't want to invalidate your experience. But 1,000 jobs in 12 years, that's a lot. And I think statistically, it seems very improbable to me that every single one of those jobs would have a bully. So yeah, just an I don't know. Not that you're not. I'm not saying that you deserve any of the way you were treated. I'm just saying, is there something you can do to show up differently, or can you show up in a different place? Right? Can you look for jobs in different industries, doing different things? So yeah, Azim Khan, thanks a lot for such a detailed response. Of course, man. Yeah. Can you share your LinkedIn? Yes, I can. It's on my YouTube channel, but I'll post it in the chat for you. Happy to connect with you, and I do wish you all the best as you try to navigate that whole, career journey. And it never ends, right? It's just like, no matter, even, I know you're starting it, you're just coming out of school, but don't be surprised if you're somebody who likes to learn and likes to grow, and you're going to change, so you may find that you like software engineering for 4 or 5 years and then decide you want to go do something else. So, but yeah, that piece of advice I just think is golden, and I love my parents that they drove that home to me very early on about what should I say? About not quitting a job before you have the next one lined up. That has been one of the biggest pieces of advice that has served me well in life. Moondrop, I'm back. Hey, Moondrop, how you doing? Good to see you. Aldecock, what do you think about moving to Silicon Valley or San Francisco? Do you believe there are better opportunities for tech careers and entrepreneurship there? That's a tough one, man. I don't have any desire to do that, to move there or work there. But like, I think if you're somebody a deal who wants to work on like the cutting edge, the bleeding edge, right? If you want to work for somebody like OpenAI, or if you want to work for somebody like Anthropic in kind of that world, or if you want to work with if you want to do some cutting edge things like that, and there's only a few companies doing them, you kind of have to go where they are. Not that every one of those companies is in Silicon Valley or San Francisco. It's just to say that there's some things that are going to be geographically, geographically constrained. So, but that is all to say, Adil, I don't think, though, that's required. I think if you want to get a job in tech and you want to have a rewarding, fulfilling career, I think there's lots of opportunities all over the world. Man, can you show your Obsidian setup? I want to see how do you use it. Yeah, I can show it to you. Let's see. I always try to be respectful to everyone that I have to work with. It's always the other person that starts it. I never started at all. Huh. Well, obviously, the Rotten Apple, I can't challenge that, because obviously I don't know your situation. I don't know your Azim. I just accepted your connection, man. The Rotten Apple, I can't speak to those situations, right? So I'm sorry if that's been the case. If it has been the case, you've just been extremely unlucky. Very, very unlucky, and I think that sucks, man. But I wish you the best as you continue to try to move forward and hold down a gig, bro. It can be tough. Evan, hi. Hello, Evan. Good to see you, man. You at the ice cream shop today? You at work or are you off? Let's see. Toad Stage. So here I can switch over. Let's switch over to. I'm gonna have to narrow my view here. There we go. Let's see. So yeah, this is my LinkedIn. Let me pull up Obsidian here. It's not Toad Stage, I should say, like my Obsidian. There's nothing cutting edge about it. I primarily just use it for note taking more than anything. Let me see. Right, so this is that's just about it, man. This is about as sophisticated as I get. I've got some folders. Inside each folder, I've got this is my assets folder, so for like images and stuff. I've got some notes in each of the areas, like for books. And then obviously, you know, the best thing about Obsidian is that mind map. I do try to kind of organize things into like people, places, books. So I try to have some like core top level categories or things, right? And then connect things together from there. But really nothing unique. The one plugin I absolutely love for Obsidian is the Excalidraw plugin. I love this plugin. It's the best. Let's see, Evan. No, I took off today to watch my slightly younger sister. Okay, fair enough. What? Evan? Then Evan said, I'm at work. What? I'm confused, Evan. Either way, I hope you're having a good day, man. But yeah, I guess I need to add to my Obsidian setup the NeoVim. Let's see. Don't you use template, man? I do not use templates. I really just use Obsidian purely as a note-taking, like capturing inputs, and then I like the mind map. That's how my brain thinks. So I like that ability to like be able to see, like, oh, I read a book that referenced this person, and then I took a note about that person. So yeah, yeah, I know the Excalidraw one. Yeah, it's wonderful. Excalidraw is the best. So I guess I'll have to add to this the oh god. Oh god. Ooh, that was a close up. Sorry about that, guys. I meant to say I took off work. Oh, okay, so you're off, Evan. Nice. Hey Clay, how are you doing? But yeah, so I'll have to add the NeoVim plugin to my Obsidian setup there. Azim, what should I do to attract recruiters? Azim, I wouldn't. I don't have any advice about attracting recruiters. I think the one piece of advice I could probably give to you on that front, Azim, is just, have you ever heard that saying, "Be so good they can't ignore you"? You know, if you want to attract recruiters, you should probably be actively selling yourself, prospecting. Right? Like, look what I built. Look what I did. Look at the contribution I made. Here's this thing I'm working on. To demonstrate ability and skill to those people. Obviously, having a solid LinkedIn profile is great. But Azim, in terms of like getting a job, I would not rely on a recruiter. Don't rely on recruiters. You know, that's like you're giving up agency over your own life. Just you're putting it on somebody else to do this for you. If it was me, you know, be your own recruiter, right? Like put your hat on and do the work to get into these companies. Do the research to figure out who has openings, what they're looking for. Try to figure out who the hiring manager is. See if you can connect with them. Like if you really have a big desire and a big appetite to get in someplace, like put on your hustle hat and go. You know, that's my advice. I mean, I'm not saying recruiters don't have value, because I think they do. I just think that if you decide that your strategy is to get a job, I'm going to try to attract the attention of recruiters who will want to hire me. I think that's the wrong. I think the strat should be, I want to find the companies where I want to work, and then I'm going to hustle my way in. No matter how, I mean, no matter how silly that sounds, that would be my approach, right? How can I sell myself? How can I position myself so that this company will want to hire me? I wish I could get, so I never have to work again. I'm just so over this job. Crap. Sorry, I'm just. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Rotten Apple. Although I don't vibe with the whole get on disability, so you never have to work again. Yeah, I don't really fuck with that idea. But if that's what you want to do, that's great. I just don't think that's probably the best way to go about leading a fulfilled and happy life. Clay, can you give a shout out to James Meakin? I can. Hello, James Meakin. This shout out is on behalf of Clay. As you can tell, I'm very experienced at giving shout outs to people. If you guys are just showing up, or if you've been here for a little bit, or maybe you weren't here at the very beginning of the stream, I should tell you too, I'm probably going to stream for about an hour. So I'm about 30 minutes in, so I have about another 30 minutes to go. So just as a heads up, that way you aren't caught off guard when I say, okay, I'm signing off. I figure I'll give you a little bit of a heads up there. What coat is always wet when you put it on? I have no idea, Professor Oak. I have no idea. But I'm guessing you're going to tell me. And there's going to be some punchline to it. I had somebody ask me a question that was like, would you recommend this in production? And I was like, for like your small app with a couple hundred users, probably fine. But if you're talking about like, I want to be able to scale this forever, infinitely, probably not, right? Oh, sorry, I forgot about the... I put the chat behind another window. Professor Oak, a coat of paint. Nice, Professor Oak. Hey, Clay. Hey, Gandalf, what's up, man? Good to see you again. Evan, what is your favorite food? My favorite dish is pad thai. I don't like all Thai food, but that's my favorite dish. Professor Oak, what makes you young? I don't know what... I don't get that joke. Farhan Han Flies. Hi. Hi, how are you? Man, what do you prefer, hard books or ebooks? Oh, ebooks, hands down, man. Digital all the way. Let's see, my sophomore year of college. Yeah, sophomore year of college, I bought an iPad mini, my first ever iPad, and I have never looked back. I took all my notes on that iPad. I've since upgraded and stuff, but yeah, if I don't have to have a hard copy of something, I don't have it. It's just it's too easy to keep track of. It's too difficult to deal with. The thing with books, particularly the thing with books is that I find that with hard books you're less likely to read as much because it's much more complicated to remember. Like I know like Bill Gates, he reads hardcover books and he carries like a bag, like he has like a tote bag he carries with him everywhere. But I'm not into that. I'd much rather just have it all on my phone, and if I'm sitting here and I've got 15 minutes to spare, boom, I can read. So, yeah, ebooks all the way in my opinion. Farhan Han Flies, what is your favorite drink? My favorite drink is probably coffee. Yeah, probably coffee. Professor Oak, U plus NG. Oh, okay, now I get it. Now I get it. Now I'm not the quickest guy, you know? Not the most clever person. Let's see. Mine is tea. Okay, tea. Yeah, I'm not a big tea guy. I'm sorry I have to go. I need to get my sister some lunch. Yeah, Evan, no worries, man. Do your thing, dude. See you next time. Indian chai. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had Indian chai tea, but I'm not a big tea guy. I'd much rather drink a hot cup of coffee or a cold cup of coffee. Not a cold cup of not a cold cup of coffee as in a hot cup of coffee that got cold and is now old and stale, but like cold brewed coffee I'm okay with. Which I guess cold brewed coffee is in some ways hot coffee that has been cooled, so but I think you know what I mean. There's some weird semantics going on there with my argument. Today is a day full of writing automated end-to-end tests. Oh, actually, hold on. Clay, it's hard but better. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, Gandalf. Clay, making progress is all that matters. That's right, Clay. Moving forward. That's the important thing. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm troubleshooting these, actually. So I'm not actually done with that task. Where... Do you guys, I don't know if you guys ever see any of the posts I make on YouTube. But you guys see here, I'll post the link. Framework desktop that I don't know if you guys have heard. There's this company called Framework, and they made these modular laptops, but they just announced they just announced they now have a desktop. It's kind of interesting. I shared a video review of it on my channel. If you go look at the post tab on my channel, there's a video review of it. But it's kind of piqued my interest, although it's kind of expensive. And the memory soldered on to the board, which I don't know if I like that. So you're kind of locked in. Like, I'm sure you can upgrade the board, but I got another about 15 minutes in me or so that I'm gonna keep working on stream, and then I'm gonna probably hop off. Let's see. Automated. Yeah, this one. And specifically, it's this test. Keeps failing. Let's see. Metric Sphinx. What's up, Metric? Nice username, buddy. Gandalf. Yeah, and my friend fired me from job. I'm sorry, Gandalf. You're having a hell of a time, man. You're having a rough month. Okay, interesting. Excuse me. I wonder. Sorry, man. I'm doing something. My TWs are not charged. So, is there anything important you said about? No, I haven't really said anything. Just kind of just working. TW. I wonder what's TWS. I'm so bad with the internet slang. Automated. This is still in progress. TWS equals to earbuds or pods. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, no worries. No, I haven't said anything. Have not said anything important. Whatever they are, yeah. Yeah, TWS. You know, I feel like a lot of developers and a lot of engineers kind of they minimize like writing tests a lot, like every kind of test. They minimize writing end-to-end unit integration, but like end-to-end tests, especially if you're dealing with like a really complicated web app, actually is quite I mean, you have to solve some pretty interesting problems. I mean, it's not trivial to write really stable end-to-end automated UI tests, but it doesn't get enough. I don't know. I don't think it gets enough respect in the engineering community. Stee1E says sup suppity sup. What's up, Stee1E? How you doing? Thanks for coming back. It's been a minute since I've seen you in the chat. Toad Stage, what about Framework Desktop? Oh, I was just asking if anyone's seen it. I shared a review on my channel about it. I didn't review it, but it was I shared someone else's video as a post, and it looked really interesting. I was like, oh, interesting. The only thing about it the only thing I saw that I thought, I don't know, is it looked pretty expensive, and the memory is soldered to the board. So you're kind of locked in. I mean, obviously, I think you can upgrade the board, but you can't just upgrade the memory. Stee1E, I just wasn't around for the streams. Oh yeah, no worries, man. I don't expect anybody to be around for even any stream. So I just want to let you know that hey, man, I see you and I notice when you're here and when you're not, and I appreciate you coming back to see us. Stee1E, haven't seen them pop up. Yeah, you should check it out. Just search for Framework Desktop PC. It'll come up on Google. You're talking about the streams. Haven't seen them pop up, meaning the streams. Oh yeah, they probably don't show up in your feed all the time, I would guess. I don't know. That's the YouTube algorithm at play, I guess. Toad Sage says, I watched the Linus video. Interesting, but not for me, man. Yeah, I haven't watched the Linus video, so I need to go check that out. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're gonna get a PC, right? Like PCs are already pretty modular as they are, as you build them, anyways. So the incentive there seems kind of low. Let's see. Jonathan Lowe says, "Hey, got another question. So let's say you and one of your friends starts a business, and y'all are talking about business cards, but they decide not to go with the brand design and want like something new that doesn't even make sense. What would you do?" Like, you told the guy it's not a good decision, but he's stubborn. Jonathan, I don't want to be insensitive to you, because I'm guessing in this story, you're the one who kind of is taking issue with the other gentleman's decision, or your friend's decision to not use your branding on your business cards. But to me, this is just a non-issue, because I just don't think in 2025 business cards matter. And I'm sure there's somebody out there who's gonna be like, yes, they do. I just don't think they matter. As somebody who has been working professionally now for, let's see, I started working when I was 15, but my first like big boy corporate job, not even corporate job. I mean, when I was a personal trainer, I had business cards. they were in one case they were provided by the gym I worked for. In another case, you had to make your own. And then even then, when I had my own gym, we had some business cards. But like, I mean, how many people do you know that you exchange business cards with nowadays? I mean, it's just not something people do. If anything, today, the thing today is LinkedIn, right? You say, "Are you on LinkedIn?" And then you connect. So, yeah, it's just for me, Jonathan. I don't think it's a. I just don't know if it. I think it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's much of a thing personally. I guess my advice to you would be to pick your battles. Is this something you really want to? There's probably going to be other disagreements you have, and so is this something you really want to go to battle over, or can you live with it? That would be my advice. Let's see. Then just do it, man. Client is God for devs. What are you talking about, Toad Sage? Sorry, I may have not understood the context of that comment. Then just do it, man. In client is God for devs. Sam Solik got his pro card. Woo. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's all. Isn't that awesome to see? Which you know why, kind of why I love that the most. I talked about this on a workout stream. I talked about how I am a cheerleader for anybody who is out in the world trying to accomplish shit, and particularly accomplish stuff that's important to them. And Sam is obviously on a mission. He has goals, and he is out there trying to fulfill them. And not only that, but he doesn't just sit around and talk about the things he's doing. He literally documents it. Like there's visual evidence of all the work and that he's doing to accomplish his goals. And it's inspiring and motivating watching that. Even if your goals aren't fitness related, like whatever your goals are, it's inspiring to see that. And there's so many people who are on the sidelines, like being like, "Oh, he's on roids," or "He shouldn't be doing this," or "That's unsafe," or "That's not how you should train," or "This is what you should do instead." And it's like, shut the fuck up. How many of you guys have a pro card? Huh? How many of you guys have ever even stepped on stage, put it on the line? How many of you guys have done that in any domain in your life, right? So I love seeing that. Oh, Toad Sage is actually talking to Jonathan Lowe. Okay. Let's see. Steve1E. Clay, I remember. Yeah. Nah, he just dominated his first show. Just wow. Yeah. I just think, yeah, that pumps me up to see people out in the world doing stuff, right? Like I am here for people who are chasing their dreams, chasing their goals, and making stuff happen. Gonna take the advice. Thanks, Japanese man and Steven. Yeah. Yeah, you can't really tell. I call him Toad Sage. He changed his username to some. I don't know what those glyphs are, what those language characters are, but I always just call him Toad Sage because that's what his username used to show up as for me. Oh, or Toad Man, I guess you could say. or Toad, I guess. I could just call him Toad, but yeah. I wonder. Anyone here familiar with some custom ROM I can use on SM998B? Not me. Not me. Hope. Steve, how are you doing, Steve? I'm doing good, man. We actually got good news about my wife. My wife broke her toe earlier this week. We went to see the orthopedic surgeon today, and she doesn't have to have surgery or anything, so all's well here, man. We're healthy. You know, semi-healthy, I guess, with one person with a broken toe, but all's good. Hafter now live trying 520 kilograms. Have to see attempt. 916 pound now first attempt. Hafner? I don't even know who that is. Hafner? Who is that? Oh, that guy. Okay. I always for some reason I always call him Thor. All right, guys. Well, I think that's gonna do it for me. 59 minutes. I need to just kind of lock in and be productive for the next few hours. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll probably be on later today, either to work out or to stream some coding. I don't know. I kind of want to. I kind of want to keep working on learning how to build my own language model. So large language model. So I probably am gonna keep working on that on stream. So it should get more interesting. We're getting to the point where we're actually writing code now. So if you see me live later, stop on in. Otherwise, I'll see you in a video, see you in a short, something like that, or another live stream. So hope you guys have a good Friday. I'll talk to you later.